Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. These are my favorite types of panels and conversations, the ones where I don't get to speak a lot and I get to introduce Hubert, who is a true expert in global transmission of technology, global transmission of content, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first of all, I am Rick Young. I'm the head of global products for LTN. LTN's a global leader, really the global leader in transmission solutions. Really quickly, you can think about us this way. Really above the line is satellite, fiber, and LTN when it comes to reliability and distribution of content all over the world. And below the line are all those protocol type services that we're all familiar with, which really allow for a lot of interesting use cases when you're talking about moving content point to point. But really above the line with LTN, we add a whole suite of services and value-added technology into our network to do all kinds of versioning, content enrichment, targeting, blackout management, a whole suite of services. But we're really not going to spend a lot of time talking about that today. I'm going to let Hubert talk specifically about how he's leveraging IP as they make the transition from satellite with their global distribution at Deutsche Welle. But first, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, thank you, Eric. I don't know if everyone knows what Deutsche Welle is. Who is Deutsche Welle? Deutsche Welle is Germany's public broadcaster, international public broadcaster, and the target group worldwide are the people, not only the Germans in the world, but all the people. Our mission is to deliver the different opinion about the politics, business, science, and economic. Therefore, because of the targets of all the people, we produce our content in 30 languages and delivered it worldwide. We are non-commercial, so our currency are the audience. About me, I'm with Deutsche Welle for 30 years already, yeah. And I spend my time, almost all the time, with distribution systems. And especially, at least for 15 time, I'm involved in IP technologies, in transmitting IP signals over the networks and also over the public internet.
Hubert was kind enough to put together a quick slide that allows him to, which will allow you to speak to how you're managing distribution today a bit. And then we can maybe talk a little bit more technical after that. And then I'd love to spend a few minutes towards the end and talk about what's next for Deutsche Welle.
What next?
Well, let's start with sort of what you're doing today.
Today, we, especially our broadcast is a hybrid broadcast using satellites and internet and file-based distribution. We are operating, or we are on 10 satellites worldwide. And 15 years ago, it was very easy because we just have to deliver the signal to the satellite and the broadcasting, and the users just to set up the TV sets or the radio receiver, they can receive this. Now,
those were simple times.
Yeah, right. It was a very, very simple time. Now you want to receive the content on PC, on tablets, on smartphones, on big screens connected to internet, on mobile, at home, and social media. There's the challenge. And one of the way how we manage this is to use even IP distribution. And this picture shows how we use LTN network. We just deliver few signals, few streams to the cloud, and then multiple them inside the cloud. So we save money for our own internet connections, but this also sustain. And then we shorten also the last mile to the partners, because with the multiplication of the streams on the outgoing side, we just have the flexibility to deliver to everywhere.
So the ability to multicast is clearly an important requirement when it comes to delivering content worldwide. A lot of the edges, a lot of your affiliates, a lot of your partners already had SRT-enabled devices at the edge.
Yeah.
But why leverage a network like LTN's in the middle beyond just multicast? In addition to multicast, what else do you get by leveraging a network in the middle, by using a network in the middle?
By using the network in the middle, we increase the availability of the signal, because internet, this is best efforts network. Using the LTN, we have the possibility to shorten the first mile, because we have really very short distance to the entry points. For example, for us, it's Frankfurt, and to shorten also the last mile. That means we decrease the interferences which coming from the internet, and LTN give us secure the long distance transmission inside the closed network inside the cloud, and using the redundant streams inside the cloud. LTN give us also the possibility to switching between the redundant streams, so we don't worry about this, what is happened in the cloud.
Is monitoring and visibility of all these streams, right? In the old days, it was simple as up on satellite, you knew where to find it, you knew how to monitor it. It changes in an IP world, your requirements around visibility and monitoring as well. Is that right?
Yeah, it's all right, but just to have, together with LTN, the visibility of our streams also, and of our program, we have to react, we have to follow the development in the world, because for Deutsche Welle it's very important that we will be received, that we will be consumed. It is not enough to put a global signal to the satellite. If the audience don't tune to the satellite, you will not be consumed. You lose your relevance in the area, in the region. And so we have, using LTN, we have the possibility to multiply also regionally tailored streams, what our partners, what our affiliates are looking for. Because the other solution would be to put all the signals on the satellite or to fixed line, but I will say it maybe not the best economical solution.
It would be cost prohibitive,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
of course. So that's a great segue. Thank you for that. So what are Deutsche Welle's plans going forward? Is the organization thinking about customizing or regionalizing your already great content in ways that are more relevant for either specific platforms or specific parts of the world?
Yes, definitely. We have to make, to customize our offer, because our audience is looking for tailored, for customized content. Our audience is interested in local issues. They don't want only the global issues. They want to know what the world is thinking about the local issues. So we have to follow this, because to remain relevant for the audience. That's why, okay, we are still on the at the beginning of the process, but the decision of our company strategies is to regionalize the content. And we have, as technical department, we have to secure that the content will be delivered to the partners, will be delivered to our affiliates. I must say that we reach our audience, more than 70% of our audience, we reach by third-party platforms. not by our own. And you will be adopted on the platforms if you are able to deliver the customized, regionalized content, if it's interesting for the audience of the
Sure.
platforms.
And so it's not only, I mean, so we talked about the content being customized, but are there unique requirements you're seeing per platform? So we talk, I mean, your world traditionally sort of in the history has been delivering to MVPDs and sort of traditional distribution platforms, but are you seeing different technical requirements when it comes to the newer platforms, FAST and OTT and virtual MVPDs? How does that change your world? Again, 15 years ago it was easy, today it's hard, but how does that...
Horrible.
Right. Horrible. Some of us love it. You know?
Yeah. Yes, of course, our marketing and sales department are always looking what is required in the regions, if it's fast or other and so on. And if the relevance for our target group is there, and for us as Deutsche Welle is there, if this is okay, we should make this, they ask us for the technical solution. And for delivering the platform, I must say in the recent years, the simplest solution was to use SRT as a medium for delivering the signal to the platforms. And as I mentioned already, we are not able to deliver all of the signals directly from Bonn. We have to use a cloud systems for delivering. And that's why, and this is also, we have the possibility with LTN we have the access to different data centers around the world. So we are very flexible. We can set up a stream within a minute.
Absolutely right. So from our perspective, from LTN's perspective, and maybe we can kind of wrap up with this because we talked about this right before we came on stage. From a network's perspective, from LTN's perspective, right, there are traditional platforms, there are new digital platforms, there are fast platforms, there are many data center or cross-connect or meet-me room type handoffs that are required, right? There's this whole hybrid world of connectivity, and you need something in the middle that sort of grabs all of the edges, and you spoke to that beautifully. But the one lesson you were teaching me before we got up on stage was, I think some folks think about it as, well, I'm on satellite today, cut, the next day you're off. What's the reality as you make that?
Yeah, the reality is, because we are acting worldwide, the countries in the world are very different. We cannot switch at this moment all satellites. We always we always ask for the request for the requirements in every country, what the platforms are needed. Because we will use in parallel both satellites and IP, and perhaps other medium. I don't know what may come.
So I think the lesson as folks are planning this reality is to prepare for a transition period. Don't expect one day to be on satellite and the next day to be off. I mean, we've done some projects where it's only taken large networks 3 months to make the transition, but they might have had a much more localized or regionalized footprint. When you're talking about across a country or across the world, you have to think about it as a step-by-step process.
It's step-by-step. And even, for example, in the US, we have affiliates, they receive our signal currently still over satellite. But the most of them have already asked us for delivering it using IP, and even not only US. For example, in Indonesia, Nepal, Mongolia, we have different. We have both. We have a satellite contribution and IP contribution. This is the world. This is the life.
30 years of this, and it was easier 15 years ago, but we appreciate all of your efforts to help push the industry forward and sharing all of your knowledge with the audience today. Thanks very much for joining us, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you.